Hey, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I hope you're doing well today. Today, I want to talk about not let go of my ego, but let go of my ego. Tuesdays are our 10x your career growth, 2-for-1 type items that you do something, you get double what you put in for the one item you do. And today, I want to talk about ego. I was filling in one of those LinkedIn questionnaires, and they were asking me a question, and they were talking about how can a servant leader get people's work ethic up? And I said, well, I learned a long time ago, you have to watch your ego. Your ego saying they have to work as hard as you is the wrong attitude for a servant leader. Well, this got me thinking about ego again. I'm reading a chapter in a book called Rings of Truth by Jim Britt. And in this section of the book I just finished was about ego and how ego is your detriment. So I want to talk about that a little bit today and how mastering your ego can help you 10x your career, get you double for what you do. And we'll talk about that. There's so many ways ego messes things up, and I will talk about them as we go. And it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way, so you can bring more value to your customer, not work so hard to bring that value to your customer, and have a little fun along the way. And speaking of ego, do you have your goals set for this year? Have you done your goals? Are your ego, I know what I need to do? Well, are you doing it? Maybe you need to get them written down. May 11th, I'm doing a little goal setting group. I think I have the post up there. It's up there. I will post more of it today and keep everyone informed. But I hope you come. It's a 2-hour session on a Saturday, and then there's a bonus another 2 hours if you have questions. You want to do follow up after you wrote all your goals down and had questions of how it came up and wanted to share with anybody. We'll be doing a bonus section on the following Sunday, and it's an opportunity for you to break your ego. So I know what I do, or why can't I do as well? And this goes an ego. It's actually a good lead. I didn't even think about this, but why can't I be as good as somebody else? Why can't I have what somebody else does? That's that bad negative ego holding you back in your career. And by doing the OKR settings session, it helps you break past that ego. It may take a couple shots at it, but at least it's the first time to get past that ego telling you, I can't even get any better than I am right now. So think about that. Oh, and also Tanya Boyd, she's going to be here. She's my interviewee for Thursday. I'm actually interviewing her today. And we're going to talk about a book that's coming out that she's helping out with the champion. It's building those high productive teams, right? And it's a good book, and it's by Christopher Connors, I believe. Going off my memory what I wrote down. So hopefully my memory is still good. But we're gonna be interviewing her on Thursday. I know his book's coming out soon, so they're trying to spread the word out there. And who doesn't want to build high productive teams, right? So anyway, so what about this ego, right? You know, you can think of an ego, and I'm going to put 2 ways, but there's so many ways. And we've talked about this thing. I think I might even use this ego as a topic way back in the past. Egos, if you're the entrepreneur. So now there's entrepreneur egos. There's building an entrepreneur team. These are some of the questions that the LinkedIn had asked from a servant leader perspective. You know, if so, we're gonna go in 2 just to keep it within this 15 minutes. First one, the ego that keeps you down. The ego says, well, I'm comfortable. I don't want change. That is your ego talking to you. That is your ego protecting you. That says you're comfortable, you're fine with where you are. You can coast this out for the rest of your life. And maybe you can. Maybe that's perfect for you. But if it stresses you out, why not try to 10x what you got? Why not try to leverage what you know to grow? And this is what I'm getting at. You're doing stuff, you're teaching stuff, you're sharing stuff, you're helping people, you're doing your thing. There's no reason why you can't also get some credit on that. You can't publish, you can't share your thoughts, your learnings grow into the next level of your career path, right? So the ego will hold you back because it's telling you to protect you, not to do new things, not to change, not to try agile. I know what I'm doing. I don't need Scrum. I know what I'm doing. I don't need automated test. I don't need to learn a new skill. I don't need this. I don't need a cert. That was a lot of ego in that room. When I heard that, how many years ago? I want to say 6, 7 years ago, a bunch of agile coaches like, I don't need a stinking certification. I don't. That was their ego talking right there. That was their ego. 6 years later, they got all kinds of certs because they realized that people that are hiring people are looking for that cert. Those AI scrubbers on resumes are looking for those certs, right? It doesn't hurt to get the cert. It ain't very hard. They're only asking for the basic cert. Why not do it? Your ego is preventing you from growing your career if you're not taking those classes. Just saying, even I got so many certs, but I keep taking classes because I'm learning from other people in my industry. Maybe that's also your ego telling. And then here's the other ego. Jealousy of other people. Well, why do I need to take a cert from so? Why do I need to go learn from Greg on OKRs? I know how to do goals, but are you doing it? Right? Your ego is saying that, well, I'm better than that person, right? I don't need that. Why are they being successful? Your jealousy part of the ego. They're just they just stole my idea. They took what we did as a team and used that to leverage up their side. That's another ego, a little jealousy ego, right? That sometimes people like to use that ego to elevate their game, to try to grow, to try to take on new roles, to push the envelope. Oh, I can do that too. And that ego is like, I can do that too. Why not? Everyone does their own path, right? But you have to watch that jealousy ego. That jealousy ego says, well, they took it. And then you just dwell in the past, right? By dwelling in the past, the ego loves to live in the past, right? I did this years ago. I could go through the whole things I've done over the years. I can go through, and this is one of the things people ask me. So you change one of the students in my class, because I showed them my book, and they said, do you change people's lives? And I said, yeah, I have changed people's lives. I said, there's a lot of people that I coached and mentored in the past are now directors and managers, probably higher than me on the food chain, right? Most likely, because I didn't want to go that route. But that's another, what I just said right there was an ego because I want to do something. Now I'm happy for them. My job was to make them get higher in the promotion chain than mine. I enjoy watching students and mentors and people I coach to progress past me. I actually take pleasure in it. So it wasn't because I didn't do it. No, I like doing it. I do that. I share on this because I like seeing people progress. I love seeing people I coached write a book, teach a class, make millions of dollars. You know what? I did my job. That was what I like to do, and I enjoy it. So you have to watch that ego, especially when you're trying to mentor people, share stuff, like, keeping your skill sets to yourself and not sharing those skills and those lessons learned with others because your ego is telling you, well, they're just going to take what I teach them and progress past me. Now, here's one of the other items on that, what I just said there. Progress past me, 10x your life, 2 for 1. If you teach people underneath you or working with you and your teammate your skills, you're doubling your productivity because now it's not just you. There's 2 of you out there that now can do what you do. Isn't that a good thing? Now you're just doubling things you have already learned, share with others. Now you're doubling your ability to perform and produce those products, whether you're an entrepreneur, a scrum master, a technician, a database developer, a tester, whatever it is. Your ego prevents you from sharing your knowledge and your skills with others because you're afraid they're going to take that information and go past you. It's just one avenue. I'm not saying this is the be all end all for everyone, but it's just one thing how that ego prevents you from sharing. But if you break that ego trip about not sharing and not helping other people because you're afraid they're going to go past you, you're going to 10x your career. There's so many people that have called me back later in my life and my career. Hey, Greg, can you help us here? You help me a lot here. Can you help me? That happens all the time, which is great because it helps me with my business. And I'm like, sure, whatever you need, I'm very grateful for that opportunity in the past to help them become successful. And sometimes they remember me and sometimes they don't. But that's not why I did it, right? I did it at the time so there was more people doing what I was doing so I could take a vacation, so I could relax, or I get more production out of my group. My entire team would elevate into producing more and everyone on the team would make more money. So so I'm just going to sum up with two types of egos. The one ego that holds you back to not wanting to change, not wanting to try Scrum, not wanting to do the ceremonies. Why do we need to do ceremony? We don't need that. I don't need a stinking cert. I don't need all that. Think about that. That's the ego that holds you back from changing and holds you back from 10xing your career, 10xing your income, getting twice as much because you already know that. Think of it this way. Okay, you know what you're doing. You know how to be a scrum master. You know how to be an agile coach. You know how to be a developer. You know how to do this. Why not get a cert for it? Then you get double. You know the knowledge and you got the cert. You elevate your game. People don't think about that, right? So that's the one where it holds you back. The other one is it holds you from helping others succeed in the long term will only help you succeed, only help you double and triple and 10x your income. Because the more people you help to understand what you're doing, the more one, they can help you, right? So they can see things that maybe you're not seeing because your ego is preventing you from seeing it. You got the horse blinders on. They can also get promoted alongside or if not faster than you, and maybe they'll help you out along the way, right? Or you'll get it 10x more. The more people able to do your job, the more people, the more revenue, the more income, the more progress your team makes, and you're missing out on that, right? So don't be hesitant to share your knowledge because that's your ego worrying about them taking over your job, them progressing past you. Maybe it's a good thing. And if they do, I'm not saying some people say, well, why they do it? I should have got that, or I helped them. I should have benefited from, it'll come, right? Take pleasure in the fact that you help somebody succeed in their life. And then the same attitude that you give towards others that they succeeded, somebody out there is going to play the same role with you one day because there's always, as they say, there's always a bigger fish in the ocean. And that's like someone showed a picture of a fish. I just saw that from the river, and I don't know what kind of fish, but it actually tried to eat another fish that was smaller and maybe it was a little too big. I think it died and was on the shore. It's like, yeah, it probably couldn't eat the fish. It was a little too big, too hungry. But there's always bigger fish out there, right? So you may think that you're too big for the other fish, or you're the biggest fish in the pond. There's always bigger fish. Keep that humility, keep that ego in check so that you can 10x your career and your connections and the people you meet and talk to and everything like that. So with that, I want to say happy scrumming. I wish you the best. Try to 10x your career. Check that ego. Like I was trained in that executive course structure. And they're like, hey, Craig, it's your ego. You cannot tell other people to do the way you did. You can't have those expectations. You can't have those expectations for others if you have for yourself. And that's part of checking that ego. Don't have those expectations of others or yours. Play them to other people, right? So anyway, have a great day. Happy scrumming. Wish you the best. And hopefully you'll get to listen to our interview with Tanya Boyd on Thursday, and you'll sign up for the goal setting. I'm telling you, if you got an ego that says, I'm not going to be signing up for that goal setting because I know what to do you really know? Are you really progressing to the next level? Maybe it's your ego telling you, I don't need it. It's only $27. I mean, come on. If you put a newsletter in the thing, because that means you want to sign up for the newsletter, it's a 27. If you don't want it in the newsletter, it's $49.99. $50, for 2 hours of getting your life straight so you can 10x your career, get 2 for 1 about what you do. I think it's a no-brainer. And it's a Saturday morning early so you can have your whole day and design it that way. Anyway, take care. Have a great day. See ya.